It is Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher, and today I am going to talk about the subject of soul contracts. Subject I've talked about before, but an event that a good friend of mine is going through right now has inspired this topic today. And I was communicating, texting back and forth with a good friend who is dealing with a very painful life situation at the moment. She is going through a very expensive, painful divorce. And on top of that, she moved to a new city and has got all kinds of trouble and just a lot things, challenges that are just shaking her root and her sense of self and identity and safety. They're just kind of really challenging those areas in her and shaking her to the core. And she is a strong, powerful, amazing soul. And I believe the stronger, the bolder the soul is, the greater the challenges that they must face in this world. And she's going through it right now. She is in the fire. And she was expressing deep regret in a choice, in the choice of the person who she chose as her partner in this marriage. And she had a choice of someone else who has gone on to be very successful. And she is really kicking herself, just really feeling that. And I can honestly say, if anyone claims they've had no regrets in their lives, they're most likely lying. We have all done things and made choices that we have deep regret about. And that is okay. And at the time we made that choice with the information we had, it showed up as the right choice at the time. And I believe for our souls, that I take we can make some bad choices because if we say that we cannot make bad choices, then that means we do not have free will. And I'm a believer in free will. But what I believe is the choices that we perceive as bad, I believe sometimes the bigger the shakeup, then the more is stripped away as far as it's taking us off our true soul's path. And when someone else is in this situation, I would never say this to them right then and there, because I believe when I've been in it, what I valued most is people just holding space for me, allowing me to feel what I was feeling and go through what I was feeling all that pain, but also reminding me of who I am, and reminding me that I have value in this world, and my soul has value, and my dreams have value, and that the story's not over. And it's a fine balance of allowing someone to go through what they're going, experience what they're going, and also remind them when they start to get too deep into darkness and hopelessness. A good friend is always going to remind you of the light that's within you, but not rob you of your experience and rob you of the validation of your own feelings. And so I'm thankful that I've had people hold that space for me, and I do my best to hold that space for others when it's needed. So I'm going to go again. She's in it right now, and I believe that she's going to come out stronger and better, but right now she's got to go through what she's got to go through. And I'm going to go back to me, like whenever I've been in this situation and was feeling it, walking through the fires of hell, asking, why is this happening to me again? Why am I going through this? I never wanted this. Why am I here? And I actually think that's the greatest thing anyone could do is ask why. But ask why sincerely. Sincerely ask God, ask infinite intelligence why. And continue to ask why. And I found, for me, an answer would show up as the why. And I continue to ask the question, who am I? Who am I? Who is the person that valued whatever got me into the circumstance and made that choice to do that? Who am I? Who am I really? And sincerely asking that leads me to the next question. How? How did I get here? How did this happen? Why? Who? How? These are the magic questions. And then there's the what. What truly, what was important to me? What was the value that pulled me into this relationship that worked out in such a painful way? And continuing to ask these questions in the past for me has helped me get clear on my true value by seeing my perceived value at the time, which usually had an element of the true value but was distorted by trauma, indoctrination, repetition of other people's values that were superimposed over my own. And so as I was able to strip away the inessential, strip away what was superimposed from the outside over my real values, I was able to get clear on my real values. And when one has been in a process where they've repeated different given circumstances, but pretty much the same story, the same theme, just as Hollywood always gives you the same story, just with different characters and different names. When one is in that cycle, it takes a lot of going over this process, I've found, before you get out of that cycle. But if you're doing it and you have true support and you're asking these questions with sincerity, eventually you get to where you have clarity on what your values are and clarity on how you went about things and clarity on what you perceived out there in the world that led you as well to your choice. And when you see what you've done in the past, then you can start to make some different choices in the now, not in the future, in the now. You already start to make some different choices. You see something, you say, wait, this is really familiar to something I've already done. And this is my real value, but this thing's pulling me over here, and you make a different choice. And when you make different choices and you're creating new patterns for new behaviors, and new behaviors lead to a different result. Again, it was Einstein, I believe, who said you can't solve a problem in the same way that it was created. So you have to create new pathways. You have to be open to new pathways. And it takes this process of sincere observation to do that. So with that being said, the light workers, the truth seekers, the bolder the spirit, a lot of times you are going to encounter the biggest obstacles, and you're going to face some of the biggest challenges to your hopes, dreams, purpose, for your experience of love and connection in this world. But know that you are not alone and that you can get there, and you will get there with sincerity in your heart and in your process. That's all I'm going to give you today. It's Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher. Be well, my friends.